G'day everyone, welcome back to Nat's Knackers Yard. I'll be Nat, this will be my Knackers Yard. It's be Blue, who at least from the count on the last upload is probably going to get new cans. And I probably am going to sort out that downpipe. I'm going to have to do it at some point. Otherwise it's just going to fall off, I think, as much as anything else. Over to Phoenix, the Aprila Shiver 750. Now, by way of recap, it's got a new lock set on it, because the previous one didn't have the antenna piece that plugs into the back of the dash, which I didn't realise at the time. That's where it plugged in. So got a new one. I think it's matched with the ECU, not the clock, and that would seem to support my theory at the moment, because I've changed the ECU, changed the lock, and I go straight in without having to enter the security code. So that seems to support that theory. Now the problem that I've got is that it's still bogging out, so it's not cutting out, so I think the immobiliser isn't kicking in anymore, but it's still bogging out, and that ain't good. Quite a few suggestions over valve spacing, and that's probably either what it is or a contributor, and I was going to go for that. Was past tense. Having looked up, it's buckets and shims, which I've never done before, and if I don't have the shims, I risk stripping it. At the moment I risk stripping it, measuring the valve gaps, which I'm still not entirely convinced I know how to do, and if they're off I can't do anything about it because I don't have the shims. I don't have a shim set. I can't swap in and out and do some maths and work out what needs to be in there and what doesn't need to be in there. Which is annoying, so I'm not quite sure, and getting a whole shim set is a bit of a pain in the arse. What I could do is take them off, measure, and then order, which is frankly what I'm gonna do, but to be brutally honest, it's just too hot for that at the moment. It's too hot for real deep stuff. What I was going to do was do the gaps and then look at the electrics. When people saying, the electrics is more fiddly, probably is, but 50-50, but I've done it before and I know how to do it, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to swap out the original ECU, the original key set. I'm going to fashion / bastardise an antenna, i.e. a single wire that breaks from one of those two connections at the top there, down through, round, probably bare the plastic as well, so it's just the metal, back in, and then see what happens. Now, the one new subscriber jumped in and said you can get the ECU out without taking the radiator off. I really can't see how. It's not too much of a faff to get that radiator off, so that's what I'm going to do. Drop the expansion tank as well, and it just gives me that little bit more space to just drop everything forward. Now, I have done that before. I have shown it, so I'm not going to show it. I'm just going to zoom through and get that done. Okay, so I got really quick at doing that ECU. It's really simple actually, or certainly the way I do it. It's undo the radiator, also undo the expansion, drop them both. It gives you a lot more room to get down to the front. Then it is 4 bolts, 4 screws, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. Slide it out, unplug, slide it back in. Don't forget that the earth is attached to one of them, and off you go. I've just pulled out the new, I suppose, the new key set. So I'm just going to find the other one, get that one plugged in, preferably without losing too many bits. Find that in a minute. And then start fashioning a new coil for the lock set. I'm just going to replace that one for now. So I've got green at the top now, don't forget that, green at the top. It doesn't need all 3 for some obscure reason. Right, let's get on with that. Right, a really cool development that I've just found. Well, no, it could be cool, could not be. Looking at the antenna that picks up the key. Now, where's the... So this is the one from the original set it came with, and there's nothing in it and no way of putting the key, no way of doing it. but just looking at it, and I have clipped it off the other one, I thought, as I wiggled the black, I thought, well, the wire wiggles with it. So, a bit more wiggling, and I'm being very careful, so I don't want to break it. I think I can just clip that onto the original key and see if it'll pick it up. Let's give it a go. Right, so I suppose we've got a little bit of an element of truth here, haven't we? Let's see whether or not that's the fuck, it's hot. That's the key set up. The lock set's set up, so that was the one that came with without a antenna. So I've used the antenna from the new kit and dropped that in. Let's see if we can get it. So that ECU is matched, I think, to this. No, it's after the key code. That's a pisser. Let's try that again. Right, that's irritating. Putting in the key code, everything's on. It's got a service light, which is unsurprising because it did have it on it anyway. Still make it stall out. Yeah, it's not happy with that. Oh well, that was worth a go. So, not a lot of progress day. I'm going to chuck the new and improved lock set back in, chuck the new and improved ECU back in, and then I suppose take stock, because it, you know, I was doing this. Oh, take stock now. I think it's still looking towards either mapping, which is about 350 quid, and this had a lot of money thrown in it already, or it's valves, and I'm going to have to be a little bit more educated on valves with shims and with buckets and shims, which I can do, but it's just getting frustrating. I don't think I'm going to be playing with a great deal of fuel injection bikes. They just confuse me. My brain does not. My brain can't cope. I've got an analog brain trying to solve digital problems. Curiouser and curiouser, said the spider to the fly. So that's the second lock set on there. I haven't changed the ECU over yet, so they shouldn't be matched together, I think. No code requirement, straight in. Weird. Right, I'm going to change that ECU over though, because I have set the bike to that by doing all of the top end shuffle, etc. All the idle piece. So I'm going to chuck that in now. What I've also done actually is completely sealed up that the throttle control unit. There weren't enough screws in it. I had been making do, so I just made up a load the right size, so it is nipped as far down as it could be in case there was any air ingress coming through that way. Right, I'm going to get this ECU swap back. Right, so that's the new ECU in, the new lock set, so basically back to how it was at the earlier point of the day. I've still got, I think I've confused everything by swapping the ECU because the service light's back, but that's easy enough to get rid of. I was going to chuck it up the Guzzy diag on there, but the laptop's run out of charge, so that's me for now. There was a little bit of a fuck about to see whether or not it would change anything. It didn't, so I don't think it's the ECUs. I could be wrong. I don't think it's the ECUs, so I don't think it's a mapping issue. Time will tell, but I don't think it's a mapping issue. Next on this is probably going to be the valve spacing. I do need to run the Guzzy diag software again. I'll try and film it when I do, but it's not going to be now. It probably won't be today. I'm taking it as a hint that you know, this bike's got it's a clever bike. It's got a thermometer on it. It's telling me that it's 27 degrees in this garage. It's too hot. So I'm going to take it as a hint that that'll do for now. I've created a gap in the middle. I am going to be picking up a new stablemate tomorrow morning, and I'll take you along. You can see what I see. Yeah, and I'm either going to come back with 1 or 2 bikes. And the more I listen to you guys, thank you so much, it confirms my thinking that 2 might just be too much. And a half-finished project is always a dubious one. Why have they stopped? What made them stop halfway through? What hurdle did they hit? And particularly if you look in the background of the pictures that I've got of it, it looks to be in a garage, i.e. a proper garage, rather than a shed garage, you know, where mechanics work. Yeah, and that slightly concerned me. Whereas something old and shitty like the Phaser as it currently is, you know, most garages and most mechanics just look at that and think, nah, it's not worth it. And fundamentally, financially, it isn't. That's not why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because it looks like it could be quite good fun, and I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on it, assuming it's not a complete fucking shed when I get to see it. Right, that'll do me. A little bit of a fuck around. I need to get this thing out of my system as much as I need to get it out of my garage, and I'm just. It's falling plate. I'm knocking one thing over, then knocking another one, then knocking another one, just trying to get to the bottom of what its issues are. I do like the idea of getting, you know, tyre done, brakes done, etc., so that I can run it, because it's runnable. It runs and rides, so that I can run it, build up some knowledge on the ECI and the diagnostic software. But that's just fucking dull. It really is. And I don't have an end state in my mind at the moment for this, so we'll keep cracking on. A little bit of background stuff as we go. I have had a little bit of an experiment with welding today, and it went fucking horribly wrong. Not on this. That's not here. It's in the garden. Just on some scrap, and it's not filling me with confidence. But hey, it's how we practice and how we learn, isn't it? Right, that'll do me. Thanks very much all. Thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying the sunshine. I'm about to go and do it because I'm fucking boiling in here. Cheers all. I'll catch you later. Ta-da.